The John Murray Show on RTE Radio 1 with SuperValue Travel Insurance. Don't worry about a thing with Great Value Travel Insurance online at supervalue.ie.
One of the most enjoyable conversations I had during my time on the Saturday Night Show was with my first guest in studio today. Now, when I say she's a poet from Galway, some of you are going to want to interfere with your wireless and switch to another time, but don't. I swear to you, she's great fun. She's full of wisdom. And the poetry is very accessible. It's so accessible that even I get it. Rita Ann Higgins, good morning. How are you?
I'm very good, Brendan. Yeah. Thanks very much. How are you?
I'm all right. The last time we were talking, you had a bad dose of the shingles.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you getting on with them?
I'm good a lot of the time, but sometimes, would you believe, it kind of attacks me again, depending on if you eat chocolate or coffee or some stuff with arginine in it can kind of ignite the shingles.
Yeah, and it's not a thing to be taken lightly. The shingles,
it's very painful. It's nerve pain, so it isn't visible after the first couple of weeks when all that horrible stuff disappears. But it's quite a nasty, it's quite
and
a
nasty.
It
all originated from, I'm remembering, you went to Las Vegas.
That's right.
And you went in a helicopter trip over the Grand
Canyon, yeah. Thought I was great.
Yeah.
When you're afraid and you don't admit it, you're better to admit your fears. I should have really said, I'm really afraid and I shouldn't do this. But, macho women, macho men, what can you do?
Yeah, and you are a macho woman is what you are, yes.
And listen, well, not, but I was at that time.
Yeah.
I couldn't go there and not do the Grand Canyon in a chopper, because that'd be the boast. Do you know what I mean?
I know, but you see, I think poets, I think of them as going to play. I don't know, remember Keats and Shelley, and they used to go down to these remote places in Italy and places of great natural beauty. And
I love the remote places too.
I know, but going off in a helicopter in Vegas, and then you were in Dubai recently for the 60th.
Oh, stop.
And they kind of trashy places for a poet to be going to.
Oh, you hound. For saying that, I'm so embarrassed about that. It was a secret surprise holiday by my family. I'm sorry, family, if you're listening. It was really, really nice, and I liked it.
Yeah.
My God, Marta.
Sorry, I didn't know. You should tell me the things I'm not supposed to mention.
No, but it was fine.
Now, poetry-wise, you're working on a new book. It's called Tongelish, is that right?
Tongelish, yeah. And I'm sure it'll be hard for everyone to say, but you got around it pretty easily.
Tongelish, yeah.
And one of the poems I was just looking at there is called Pig Iron. I wasn't listening into your last conversation, but I definitely heard pigs. And this is a short poem to do with shingles.
Okay. You don't hear many short poems about shingles,
no,
do you?
No, you don't.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, off you go.
Here we go. Pig Iron. Now I'm juicing, trying to beat the shingles. Things that don't even rhyme. Turnip and orange, cabbage and kiwi. The colour is enough to shrink a liver. Usually the end result is a drink, but today I was crushing something hard. A child's tooth, a wedding ring, the butt of a horseshoe. So I had written a whole sequence in the new collection about shingles, just because I was able to do, when I wasn't feeling well, I was able to do that. But there wasn't much else I was able to do, because there's a lot of painkillers.
Really, that debilitating.
I thought I was going to die.
I know you've gone all Gwyneth now, or you're on the green juices and the kale.
Oh,
and all
no, I hate them, and you stink of garlic and ginger forever after them. But they're good,
It works,
you feel better. But it doesn't get rid of the longing for sugar, because everybody likes something sweet.
Yeah.
I can't be perfect, Brendan, much as you'd like it. I'm a sinner at the back of it all.
You see, I have you up there on a pedestal.
Take me off that plinth, Brendan.
Listen, I know that some of the other poems you've been writing for the new book they're kind of dirty.
I would say some of them are erotic. A lot of them are social commentary. It's mixed. It's similar to what I do, but hopefully maybe a little bit better, but I have no idea what better is,
Yeah.
You just work harder as you get older.
But you are known for a lot of your poems. Would we call them they're earthy, sensual,
Earthy is
sensuous
good.
kind of
We'll go with
poems.
earthy.
Yeah,
Earthy
yeah.
is good because my grandson is in the car on his way to the Skull Soura, so we don't want
And
him
don't you
hearing-
worry, I'm on strict instructions here that there's to be no more early morning erotica after
Exactly.
George Hook last week. There is another one that is really nice and which you might read for us. It's Crying Air.
Oh, Crying Air.
Do you have it there?
I hadn't, but I'll have it by the time I hadn't.
And obviously,
that one
this
out.
isn't nothing to do with any existing airline. This is a completely fictional
That's right.
airline we're talking
this is
about
a fictional airline called Crying Air, if we can find it. This happened to me this is just a kind of a mock-up of the book.
I got you. Well, we can come back to it in a minute. Listen,
Yeah.
there was. I kind of know to a certain extent myself that you can get in trouble with your family over when you write things and when you
Yeah.
write about stuff and about people. And we don't need to get into the details of it, but you are, I suppose, in a way, because of being a writer, you find yourself estranged from a lot of your family.
Yeah, I am since 2010, sadly. And it's not something I'd have wished, but it happened. And I would want my grandson and my twins, my daughter's expecting twins, I would just want in their lives to instill in them, never isolate anybody, because it's not a nice thing. I'm not saying, I'm out in the cold a bit, and that's what happens, when you write. It doesn't always satisfy everyone.
Yeah, and look, I think a lot of writers find that it does.
Yeah.
It must be kind of sad though to be.
It's very sad. It is very sad because we need people, and you need siblings, and siblings.
And they're the ones who understand you best in a way as well, even if you're all different and
we the lines of punishment come from wherever in the ether, So if you do something wrong, you have to pay, kind of.
And
so,
was it difficult? Have you come to terms with it now? And have you accepted that you'll possibly be estranged from them forever?
Possibly, yeah. I went to counselling and for a couple of years, and that really helped. And then I learned that I have to get on with what I have. Take the good. The good is that I have a grandson, Oisín, and the twin babies in December, please God, and my own immediate Christy and the girls, and they love me. And that's a lot to be going on with,
Yeah.
But I'm not bitter. And I love to read. I think the privilege of being able to read is a great privilege. And that's what
I suppose because it's a harder one kind of privilege for you as well, that you didn't get an education when
earlier,
you were a kid and you had to
no
work
one
at
likes
it.
a whinger, Brendan. So
I
so
can
it's great.
I can see you're not whingy about it.
No.
And listen, you and Oisín are great old pals, I gather.
Great
the grandson,
pals,
yeah.
I'm mad about him, and he's looking forward to the twins as well. And they're from a different girl now, Jennifer, the youngest.
Right.
She's 35, and she'll be having the twins at Christmas. Please God.
Fantastic. How old is Oisín?
Oisín will be 7 in November.
And are you one of these grannies who has been
I'm
corralled into?
Mamo, actually. We say Mamo. We
and
don't say granny.
has Mamo been corralled in to do the child minding there?
Oh, I stalk. I stalk and I offer. He's at the Skull Soura now, and I don't like the idea of him going off swimming when I'm not there to kind of keep an eye on him. And, you have to let go of some things. And I like to take him to the movies, and especially swimming, because it's such a joyous thing to do with a young scallywag. And, you just like to help out. But it's not... It's a privilege as well. I love doing it. I give my time freely, but I do it out of choice. I could be in my study working, and I've plenty to do. Daughter, I've work to do, but I love my time with Oisín, because I want him to have nice memories with me, and the children grow up so quickly.
Yeah, they
so
do.
Quickly.
Did you find Crying Air there?
I found Crying Air. The queue was long, the chatter rising up and down the length of it was anxious, especially from the elderly. Some Crying Air soldier is striking fear into the hearts of the passengers in Liverpool airport. It was about carry-on luggage. I wasn't too worried, my bag was small. I had used it several times before. The chief crier was walking up and down the queue, saying in a loud voice, "You have 3 choices. If your bag does not fit in Exhibit A," pointing to the grill for measuring misery, 1, you pay €70 cash. 2, you pay €70 by credit card. Or 3, you leave your bag. Is das klar? I have to rule out credit card as I had a problem with mine before I left home. None of this will apply to me anyway. I was only there for 2 days. How much money was I going to need? My small bag, my nifty bag, it will fit like toast. It didn't. The wheels stuck out. Juggle things, a woman said. Rearrange things in the bag. It's a tiny bag. Stick your high heels in the side pocket and try again. The wheels stuck out. The crier was a crying air soldier. He was taking no prisoners. You have 3 choices, he said over and over. We knew his choices by heart. We didn't need to hear them. I asked him if his mother knew how he was treating people. Don't go down that road with me, lady. Just pay the money or leave the bag. I got this Liverpool jersey for my grandson. It took all my spare cash. I'm a crying air soldier, lady. We don't do Mother Teresa crap. Pay the money or leave the bag. Can I speak to the manager, please? I'm the only manager you need to please. You have 3 choices, he said, clicking his teeth. You pay the €70 cash, you pay the €70 by credit card, or you leave the bag. He counted me down in minutes. You have 12 minutes, you have 8 minutes, you have 6 minutes, you have no minutes. The crier won. I went down on my hands and knees and collected my belongings. I stuffed them into a nylon bag that I bought for $1 in Canada months before. It had winners written on it. I left my nifty bag with the book wheels at the boarding gate. I felt like the biggest loser walking across the tarmac. Small items were falling out of the corner hole of my winner's bag. I looked back at the toothpaste, my travel-sized bottle of argan oil to nail down my wiry hair, a pair of pink knickers 40 years too young for me. I saw the crier, a lean and mean figure inside the glass, just looking. A new queue was forming. There was misery to measure, and he was hand-picked to do it. He turned on his heel. I'd swear I heard a click.
That
no, it was
image
longer.
of the kind of quiet dignity you tried to have in the face of the humiliation. But
it was terrible humiliation.
Yeah.
And I just felt like if the airline people, the owners or whoever, if they could consider their parents on their hands and knees, they would change things. I know there have been changes.
No, we should say that airlines like
Ryanair
yes. have apparently thought about all this, and it's a much friendlier
But this wasn't that long ago. This was May 2013.
I think that was before the friendly new face.
A week before, I think.
Of some airlines.
Yeah.
Right, so you were just a minute too late. But listen, I could listen to you read the poems all day. It is so lovely. Unfortunately, we don't have time for another one. The book isn't out till next year, is that right?
It's not out till April. Tongelish.
Okay. Listen, thanks a million for coming in. It's always lovely to talk to you.
My great pleasure. Thanks a million.